Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Anyway, I believe it is the 18th of April today, and I am bringing you guys a Clear Lake, California fishing report. So, anybody that's interested in Clear Lake, they know that there's a huge tournament going on this week. Day one was yesterday. It's the big wand tournament. So that dictated a lot of what I did this week. So my fishing report's not going to be a whole bunch of catches, but it's a whole lot of really good information that I can promise you is going to help you guys when you come up here. So let's just get to the basics right off. I am not understanding this water clarity at all. I'm idling out of the Keys right now, and it's only about a foot, maybe a foot and a half water clarity in here, and it doesn't make any sense to me, because as soon as I get outside of the Keys, and by that time I get to Rattlesnake, we've got 6-8 foot of water clarity, and I'm getting reports from friends down in the Redbud Arm up to 10 feet of visibility. And I know that up north, where everybody's just catching all those giant bags, you're looking at 2 and 3 foot of water clarity. And the water temperatures, we're getting hot now. We're back up into the 70-80 degree days now, after a very, very, very cold weekend that threw a hitch in the get along for these fish. But they've recovered from that, and they've obviously there's been a massive wave move up. But before you guys get too excited, this is not a lie, which usually is an indication that it's a lie. But the fish have not moved into the Keys, and I talked to a lot of the pros that were coming in here looking for them, convinced that they would have to be here just like me, and they just can't get them to go. There are fish that can be scoped, but you just can't get them to eat. They're just not set up and not in the catchable stage right now. Speaking of finding fish and not being able to catch them, I have spotted so many absolute freaking giants. This lake is just chocked full of the biggest, most beautiful bass you've ever seen in your life, and it's super exciting, and it will drive you crazy at the same time, because I've found a few docks and some trees that have fallen that are just absolutely loaded with magnums, and they just have no freaking desire to eat anything at all. Yesterday, I finally got a couple to react to a glide bait and had them come up and just kiss it, and just enough to be like, oh, just come on, that one little shake. What's going to make this fish fire? But that's pretty much been my fishing. I've just been flipping, and I've been throwing my glide baits, and I'm throwing chatterbaits in the brush, and I'm still throwing my swim baits. And I've had a couple trips out. I've fished every day this week. I've had a couple trips where I've caught 0 fish, and I've been averaging 2-3 fish a trip. And most of my buddies are catching more catfish than they are bass. But yesterday, day one, it took 30 pounds to be in the top 6. So I haven't seen what the results were for today. So there's parts of this lake that are just off the hook right now and just world class. But it's not every angler doing that. I think the majority of us are still struggling putting it together a little bit. But I did find a lot of bedding bass. I went out on Monday and I found a bunch of bass on beds, and they were locked on and super aggressive. And after, with the big tournament going on, I haven't even been getting on my boat until like 2 o'clock and letting everybody get away and get back up there. And all those bass that I had found are all gone. They've all relocated to Lakeport. But what I did with that big tournament going on, I just challenged myself. It's like, there's just no way there's not fish in these Keys. It's just such an amazing, perfect spot, and it's a spot they spawn here. It's like, there's got to be a way to catch these fish. So I've got the trick worms. I have it's the time of the year where you should have 3-4 rods on the deck. I've got 10 right now. So you're talking about not dialed. I am not dialed, but I just challenged myself to get in there and see if I could put it together and figure out what these fish want, because I don't have a scope, so I'm not 1,000% positive there are fish there, but I just could not put anything together. Literally just like one fish here, one fish there, and we're talking 2,000 flips, and throwing the darker purples and my brush hogs and throwing a Cinco, just so many things that you're like, okay, all these super high percentage spots, they should go. And then over here on the flats where I was seeing the bedding bass, the carp moved in. And I don't know about you guys, but when the carp move in, I'm done. I cannot catch a bass if there's a freaking carp within 100 yards of it. It's just me. It completely blows my confidence in the area if the carp are in there. And man, I know that they took a bunch of carp out this year, but they missed a bunch of them. I am seeing carp just the size of my freaking leg. So the fish has been tough for me, but it is absolutely off the hook for some, judging from the results of this tournament. So the weather is going to be super, super great. I still have not gotten a top of water bite. I'm ready to put the buzzbait on the deck. Since I only have 10 rods on the deck right now, I might as well jump to 11 and put a buzzbait up there. But everything is just looking set up so perfectly for that frog bite to take off and the buzzbait bite to start to take off. But you know, all your typical springtime stuff is still going. But I think number one for a while is just going to be the bed fishing. But not everybody likes the bed fishing, so you guys that are trying to avoid the bed fishing, just get out there and throw those reaction baits. You do have a chance, and it's not easy by any means, but it can just be just crazy the bass that you can catch up here right now. It's been a while. It's been a year or two since I've seen them this absolute numbers of giant bass. I mean, you guys would be blown away. I wish I could show you guys some videos of it, but you guys are just too good at knowing where the heck I'm at. And they're just absolute freaking magnums, and it just excites me for the future of Clear Lake. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling on a little bit. But a big thing to remember this time of year: let's protect that resource. I mean, just you know, if you're fishing for them bed fish, just remember that's the future of the bass. So take every step possible to handle that female as little as possible, and just really take good care of her and try to get her back in there where they can take care of her business, and we have bunches of little baby basses to catch in the future. But speaking of that, I'm seeing a lot of fry balls. So there's obviously been a first wave that I missed, but this second wave is just coming in so hot and heavy. So if it's your thing, now's time to tell the boss you're taking some vacation and come on and get yourself up here, because it is a popping. And my buddy Mark, I talked to him. I love telling you guys how he's doing. He's on a flip bite, and he is skipping. He's finding those suspended bass also, and he's skipping a mag draft swim bait up under the docks and reeling it real slow, and then he's just giving it a couple good jerks. So I hope you're not mad at me for giving your secret, Mark. I don't know if you were telling me to share or if that was a secret you were giving me, but hey, I just blew it. But anyway, he's having to make that same cast about 20 times, but he can finally piss one off enough to make them eat. So there's your juice for the week. And like I like to say, and please do it, when you get up here, treat people the way you want to be treated. And peace out, baby.